Let's start with literature in Pali and Prakritic. So, during the post-Vedic period, apart from Sanskrit, literature was also composed in Prakritic and Pali. Prakrit is a term which is loosely attached to any language. Prakrit is a term which is loosely attached to any language from the standard one, that is Sanskrit. Pali is usually used to indicate the archaic or old form of Prakrit, and it combines several existing dialects, right? Pali. These languages gained prominence when religious literature of the Buddhists and Jains were composed in this language. It is said that Lord Buddha used Pali to give his sermons, and it is in the same language that they have been recorded. The Buddhist literature can be divided into canonical and non-canonical works. Canonical literature consists of 3 Pitakas, जिसे बास्केट भी कहते हैं, of knowledge. The 3 Pitakas are विनय पिताका, सूता पिताका, अभिधम्मा पिताका. चलो इसके बारे में पढ़ लेते हैं. Vinaya Pitaka is basically rules and regulations which should be followed by the Buddhist monks. Sutta Pitaka contains dialogues and speeches. It contains dialogues and speeches of the Buddha that deal with mortality and righteous dharma. Lastly, the Abhidhamma Pitaka that concentrates on the philosophy and metaphysics. It also contains discussions on various topics like ethics, theory of knowledge and psychology. Fine. तो ये हो गया हमारा विनय पिताका, ये सूता पिताका, ये अभिधम्मा पिताका. विनय पिताका rules and regulations. Sutta Pitaka is basically deal with morality and righteous dharma. Abhidhamma Pitaka is basically concentrates on the philosophy and metaphysics. Fine. अब जो ये तो हो गया कैनोनिकल. अब नॉन कैनोनिकल पर आते हैं. द जतकास are the best example of Buddhist non-canonical literature. These are the compilation of stories from the previous birth of Buddha. The stories of Bodhisattva or the future would be Buddha are also discussed in the Jatakas. Bodhisattva मतलब basically जो future would be Buddha, उनके stories भी Jatakas में discuss कर रखी हैं. Although these stories propagate Buddhist religious doctrines, they are available in Sanskrit and Pali. Each story of the birth of Buddha is equivalent to Jataka tale. It was believed that Buddha passed through 550 births before he was born as Gautama. These tales combine the popular tales, Asian mythology, as well as socio-political conditions in North India between 600 BC and 200 BC. The greatest epic, Buddha Charita, by Ashwagosha, 78 AD, is another example of Buddhist literature in Sanskrit. कौन सा? बुद्ध चरिता by अश्वघोषा. दिस अ ग्रेट एपिक. ये भी एक बुद्धिस्ट लिटरेचर है, किसमें? संस्कृत में. अब अगले रिलीजन के बारे में बात कर लेते हैं. जैनिज्म. प्राकृत में उनके टेक्स्ट हैं. जैनिज्म के प्राकृतिक में टेक्स्ट हैं. दे फॉर्म द बेसिस ऑफ जैन कैनोनिकल लिटरेचर. सम ऑफ द जैन टेक्स्ट वर ऑल्सो रिटन इन संस्कृत. संस्कृत में कौन से जैन लिटरेचर हैं? उपमिति भावा, प्रपंच, कथा ऑफ सिद्धरसी 906 AD. द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट जैन टेक्स्ट जो प्राकृत में रिटन हुआ है वो देख लेते हैं. ये तो संस्कृत वाला था, उपमिति भावा प्रपंच कथा ऑफ सिद्धरसी. अब जो प्राकृत में है वो है अंगास, उपंगास, परिक्रमास. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस द चेदप सूत्रा एंड माला सूत्रा Chedap Sutra, Chedap Sutra, Mala Sutra are also considered to be sacred by the Jains. Right? Among the secular writers attached to the Jains were Hemachandra, who wrote a treatise on lexicography and grammar. Fine. Mention could also be made of Haribhadra Suri. इसने क्या लिखी थी हेमचंद्र ने? लेक्सियोग्राफी प्लस ग्रामर. ठीक है, लेक्सियोग्राफी एंड ग्रामर. एक और है हरिभद्रा सूरी who wrote in the 8th century. This treatise helps us to expound on the socio-political history of areas densely populated by Jaina, which mostly comprised of traders. Lastly, Prakrit poetry has some elements of erotica through texts like Gatha Sata Patashati. ये देख लेते हैं, ये इम्पोर्टेंट है. ये हाला ने लिखी थी, 700 वर्सेस की है. गथा सप्तशती by Hala written in 300 AD. While Hala has only contributed 44 verses in this volume, what sets this apart is a large number of female poetesses who have contributed to this work. और उसमें से मोस्ट प्रोमिनेंट जो फीमेल पोइटिस हैं जिन्होंने कंट्रीब्यूट किया है वो है पहाई, रोहा, ससीपाहा, महावी एंड रेवा. फाइन. अब संस्कृत का रोल देख लेते हैं. It is one of the oldest recorded languages in the world, Sanskrit, and has been instrumental in lending continuity to Indian Vedic civilization. Sanskrit has been the mother of several Indo-Aryan languages that draw heavily from its grammatical base and vocabulary. Several texts written in Sanskrit, like the Dharmashastra and the Manu Samriti, form the basis of many laws followed in our country even today. Fine. अब हम अगला स्टार्ट करते हैं, ड्रेविडियन लिटरेचर. फाइन. तो इसमें देखते हैं, दिस सेक्शन कंप्राइजेस ऑफ लिटरेचर इन 4 मेजर ड्रेविडियन लैंग्वेजेस. कौन कौन सी? तमिल, कन्नड़ा, तेलुगु, मलयालम. अमंगस्ट दिस 4 लैंग्वेजेस, Tamil is supposed to be the oldest and is supposedly very close to Sanskrit, especially in terms of grammar and borrowing of words. The most famous literature in Tamil is a classical work or the Sangam literature. सबसे जो फेमस है वो है संगम लिटरेचर. इज अ क्लासिकल वर्क्स और संगम लिटरेचर. तो अब हम इसी पर आते हैं, तमिल और संगम लिटरेचर. Sangam means fraternity, and this literature was very popular amongst the masses. This literature is a collection of works that contain approximately 2381 poems that have been attributed to 473 poets, and there is a corpus of literature written by 102 poets that remains anonymous. Right? The literature was so popular that the period between 300 BC and 300 AD, during which most of this were composed and compiled, is called संगम period. अब इसके 2 मेजर स्कूल्स हैं संगम लिटरेचर के. अहम, जिसे अगम भी कहते हैं, विच इज़ अ इनर फील्ड and concentrates on the abstract discussion of human aspects like love, sexual relations, etc. Second is पूरम, ये इनर फील्ड हो गया. अगम अहम. पूरम is outer field. We discusses the human experiences like social life, ethics, valor, customs, etc. Fine. This literature bear the name Sangam. इसका नेम संगम कैसे पड़ा? Because the kingdom of Pandya organized assemblies where poets, bards and writers would flock from various parts of South India. These assemblies were called Sangamas, right? So, and the literature produced in the duration of these assemblies was called Sangam literature. तो there were basically 3 major संगम्स ऑर्गेनाइज किए गए. तो हम देख लेते हैं. फर्स्ट संगम कहाँ पर हुआ था? किंगडम तीनों ही पांड्या में हुए थे। और इसकी प्लेस ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन देख लेते हैं। पहला संगम हुआ था मदुरई में, ठीक है। दूसरा हुआ था कपतापुरम, और थर्ड फिर मदुरई में। फाइन। फर्स्ट मदुरई, सेकंड कपतापुरम, थर्ड मदुरई। अब इनके चेयरमैन देख लेते हैं। फर्स्ट के चेयरमैन थे अगस्त्य। फर्स्ट के चेयरमैन कौन थे? फर्स्ट के चेयरमैन थे अगस्त्य। सेकंड का इनिशियली इट वाज अगस्त्य एंड देन हिज डिसेपल तोलकापियर टुक ओवर। पहले तो अगस्त्य थे, फिर तोलकापियर टुक, मतलब उन्होंने ले लिया। थर्ड नाकी राव। फाइन। फर्स्ट में जितनी भी बुक हैं वो अभी तक सर्वाइव नहीं है, तो 9 बुक है सर्वाइव। सेकंड में देखते हैं। सेकंड में टोलकापियर वो थे चेयरमैन। तो 2000 पोइम्स कलेक्ट हुई थी और उसे कंपाइल कर टोलकापियर में उसे कंपाइल कर दिया गया सेकंड में। थर्ड में देख लेते हैं। मोस्ट ऑफ द एग्जिस्टिंग कॉर्पस ऑफ संगम लिटरेचर वॉज रिटन। फाइन। It is also interesting to see that in the extant Sangam literature, around 30,000 lines of poetry has been arranged. 30,000 lines of poetry has been arranged in 8 anthologies called Ittu Tokoi. Ittu Tokoi. These were further divided into 2 groups. The older and the most historical relevant group is called Pattinakal. Kanaku, मतलब 18 lower collections. और second is Pattu, the 10 songs. Fine. The very famous and revered Tamil sant कौन है? Thiruvallurar. The very famous and revered Tamil sant Thiruvallurar had contributed the Kural to the Sangam literature. Thiruvallur had contributed to the Kural. Kural इनके द्वारा थी. It has been now translated in several languages and is divided into 3 parts. We discussed the epic, poetry, governance and love. और एक another female sant थी who contributed to the Sangam literature, Avya. एक female sant ने लिखी थी Avya. Apart from Sangam literature, there are many well-known texts written in Tamil. Tolkappiyam, fine. ये हम पढ़ भी चुके हैं अभी. Wait. Tolkappiyam was written to elaborate on the nuisance of Tamil grammar and poetry. Like the twin Sanskrit epic Ramayana and Mahabharata, even Tamil has 2 major texts written in 6th century AD. ठीक है. तमिल के एक और हैं जो 6th century AD में लिखे गए थे. वो है Silappadikkam. Silappadikkam is a story of an anklet which was written by इलांगो. सिलापड़ीकरम, ये भी क्वेश्चन आता है, इंपॉर्टेंट है. सिलापड़ीकरम किसने लिखा था? इलांगो. ILANGO. इलांगो एडिगल. ठीक है. सिलापड़ीकरम बाय इलांगो एडिकल. सेकंड टेस्ट है मनी मेकलाई. द स्टोरी ऑफ मनी मेकलाई written by Chatnar. This text focus on the Tamil society and the economic and political changes it was experiencing. The final turn came during the early medieval period when the Vaishnava Bhakti sentiments began to color Tamil literature. Texts composed between 7th to 12th centuries were highly devotional in nature. In Tamil-speaking regions, the 12 alverts or the sant poets who were immersed in the devotion of God wrote several texts. One of the alvar sant एक woman थी जिसका नाम था अंदल. This was supposed to be a step ahead of the misogyny of that time. Another important bhakti group was of Nyanmar. Nyanmars are those who sang the praises of Shaivism. Shaivism. Beside this, in the secular Tamil writing, two major poets called Periya Puranam and Kambramayanam, ये भी पॉपुलर थे. कौन कौन? Periya Puranam एंड Kambramayanam, ये भी दो मेजर पोइट्स इंपॉर्टेंट थे, मतलब पॉपुलर थे. फाइन. अगला लिटरेचर मलयालम लिटरेचर. मलयालम लिटरेचर में देखते हैं. दिस लैंग्वेज इज यूज स्पोकन इन केरला and surrounding areas, although linguists argued that the language originated in the 11th century. Within a span of 400 years, it has developed a corpus of literature rich enough to call it an independent language. Two of the major Malayalam work of the medieval period are Kokka Sandison and Bhasya Kautilya. भाषा कौटिल्य तो एक कमेंट्री है अर्थशास्त्र के ऊपर, भाषा कौटिल्य. तो ये दो वर्क हैं, कोक्का सैंडिसन एंड भाषा कौटिल्य, विच इज़ अ कमेंट्री ऑन अर्थशास्त्र. दिस मच फॉर टुडे. तेलुगु कन्नड़ा हम अगले में पढ़ेंगे. थैंक यू.